My name's Ken Finnan, and my job is to get you past all the exams. And the number one question I get before I do my live, so I'm hoping to save some time and make it less chaotic, is what do I do? I'm taking the test tomorrow or 2 weeks or whatever it is. So let's first of all, if you're taking it tomorrow, too late, you're fucked. Okay? No, I'm kidding around. Get some sleep. If you're taking it tomorrow, you should not be on my live. You should be getting sleep and you should be going over customer accounts. Literally any exam you take, literally any exam, you should probably read customer accounts. I have crash course videos you can watch, playlists you can watch. Go watch those and get some sleep. If you have a significant other, make sure they do the right thing or ask them to do the right thing. And you don't want to make them do anything, but you ask them. Just massage. That's all I'm talking about. Just keep you relaxed. No fighting, stuff like that. Now, if you're taking it beyond tomorrow, so if you're taking it tomorrow, what are you doing out here? Get off here, click and get out of here. If you're taking it beyond tomorrow, so let's say you're taking it in 2 days. Tomorrow is no testing. It's adding knowledge, reading customer accounts, going over videos, hopefully my crash course videos or others. Bottom line is you don't want to stress yourself out. You don't want to take a test. I'm not a fan of testing. Some people like it. I disagree with it because if you go bad, there's no upside. If it goes bad for you, you're screwed. So I say, don't take a test tomorrow. Take it easy. Around dinner time, you're done. I don't care if you're taking the test at 5 o'clock at night. At dinner time, you're done. Okay? Don't do anything. Again, the night before is always kind of go out to dinner. Don't go, pounding, going fireballs, but just literally go out to dinner, maybe talk to people who aren't involved in it, who don't care about the test, don't want to hear it. You want to do stuff that just relax you. If you have SDC or Notman, they have these little sheets that you can go through. Maybe the day before, make sure you go over it like hot sheets or key topic stuff or crunch time facts. Again, I have crash course playlists, a whole playlist on almost every test you can take. Now, let's say you're taking it more than 2 days out. So what you want to do is within the up to, but not including the last, I don't even know if that's right. The last 8 to 10 days is testing, okay? Before that, you're reading and quizzing and testing, all that. A lot of focus on reading, mostly focus on reading, watching videos, adding knowledge. But in the last 8 days, not including the day before, so whatever that is, so 10 days before, you're going to take tests every day. One test, not two. If it's a 63 of the SIE, maybe you can take two. But again, I don't think it works so well. Oh, I feel the heat on my back. I really just want to turn around and take a dive. The problem is when I go in there, there's a manatee warning. The boats have to go around me. I have to wear a flag saying manatee, don't hit me, stuff like that. Now, up to but not including the day before the test, you are to take one final a day. Now, remember something. When you do a final, review the whole thing, not just the wrong answers. And what you're going to do is you're going to kind of do a triage. There's really 3 or 4 choices. You look them over. If you got it right for the right reason, you're good. Move on. Make sure you read the answer why, okay? 2, if you got it right for the wrong reason, mark that down. You have to review it because if you got it right because you guessed, that's just as bad as a wrong. Almost more dangerous, right? Because you think you got it. 2, if you got it wrong because you misread it, which happens with the Kaplan, Past Perfect, SDC, even Achievable, all of them, you can misread it. If you get it wrong because you misread it, but you knew the concept, don't worry about it. The last one is you got it wrong because you didn't know your shit. That you have to review. So really, you're going to have 4 choices, mark them all, and then if you got it right for the right reason or wrong because you misread it, but you understand the concept, don't worry about it. The ones you have to review are the ones you got right for the right reason, and then the ones you got for the wrong reason. The ones you got for the wrong reason. See, when I talk too fast, my brain is here, my mouth is here, and they're not in conjunction. And then ones you got right for the wrong reason, like guessing, and then you got to be honest with yourself. Don't be like, oh, I think I know it. Or the ones you got wrong for the right reason. I guess the right reason to be wrong, you don't know it. If you're starting to memorize questions, buy another QBank. STCS 4 supplemental exams. If you want, buy Kaplan. But again, you don't want to add a new QBank in the last few days. You want to do it out so you can literally get used to the question because you don't want to switch it up the day before. Again, you need to go in there like a badass. You need to go into the test like I'm going to fucking own this shit and you're going to run it, okay? You got to go in there confident. You got to understand that if you go in there confident, if you go into this test as a confident badass, not cocky, confident, I know my shit, then when you see a hard question, you're going to go, oh, I can do this, okay? And you can work through it or even mark for review, shit like that. If you go in there where you're not sure and you're like, oh, I'm afraid, then every hard question is going to look to you like, see, I knew I should have waited. And that's a bad thing because you won't try it. I've seen that so many times where if you give someone positive confirmation of good work, they're willing to work a little bit harder on the question. If you're like, oh, I'm not ready, they go, oh, I knew I wasn't ready. They give up. We don't want give up. We want you to attack it like you know your shit, okay? And that's literally it. You maybe want to watch some of my exam walkthrough videos, join my live, but not the night before. I don't want to see you the night before. I want to see you after you pass so we can play a song for you and blow it out your ass, okay? Good. Okay, everyone, go beat this thing. You got this. I believe in you. I 100% believe in you. And you need to say every morning, get up in the morning, brush your teeth with your offhand, even if you want to brush your teeth with your foot, and keep saying, I'm going to pass this. I'm going to pass this. Say it like 10 times with confidence. Not I need to pass it. Not I got to pass it. I'm going to pass it. That's your goal. Go beat this thing. We got it, baby.
Let's go, baby. Happy Tuesday. I hope you all can hear me. I didn't waste that shit on my screaming into it for nothing. I hope we're doing well. I see some good questions in it. I was reading them as we go. I am so excited to be on here. It's Tuesday. It's been a long weekend, and I am ready to get into this. Hope you all can hear me. Okay. Now for the sultry tones.
You definitely sound better closer to the mic.
I also turned it up. I should just eat the fucking mic and just go like this the whole time. Okay.
There's definitely a huge difference. The hue was a couple of inches. How about that?
What you said. You set me up. I love that. It's just that was.
I realized it as I was saying
the best assist you've ever did in your life.
A couple of inches makes a big difference for you,
especially for us Irish guys. 100%. Okay, now we got to get you a microphone too. Okay, I've been doing research. I've been looking at them. I think I'm gonna get you maybe get one of these, but also get the box ones. Okay. So I see some good news here. Yes, of course. So you know why he put cowbell? If you log in to my thing, I have the trailer is the cowbell thing from Saturday Night Live.
Cowbell's great. Can never have enough cowbell.
Never have enough cowbell. Okay. Jules, I started reading your shit. You're going to have to explain to me more what you're doing because I don't know why. If you're going into your family's business, we'll talk about that now. Donato Catone, baby. Way to get this shit done. Way to get her done, baby. Let's go. That's got to get you psyched, man. How great is that to get that shit done?
I have a question for Donato, if he's still on, if you could put it in the chat. How much did you study more or less the couple of days before the exam than you studied for, let's say, the entire month? Because I have a new theory on studying right before the exam. So did you pick up the pace of your exam studying, or did you kind of like guide yourself into it as the exam date approached? That's if you can put that in the comments.
Great question. So now, guys, if you don't know, Jeff has a great thing that he's running. It's awesome. He does a custom study chat where instead of paying us the $100 an hour, whatever it is, or $200 an hour for me, you can do a half hour, 40 minutes with Jeff for a lot less. And he doesn't work on the product. He doesn't work on the topics. He does know them. But all he's doing is setting up a study plan for you. Even if it means you never do tutoring, he's just going to help you set up a study plan. He's not doing it for free. We got to pay the guy. But he is good at what he does. A lot of people came back and thought it was amazing. There's a link for it. Okay. Cheeseburger, we're going to get you. Yeah, fucking Ozzy. I motherfucker, I missed that. I should have put an Ozzy Osbourne thing in here. Fuck. Little Crazy Train. Damn it. I missed a big one. So now 2 people died. Malcolm Joel Warner, which is really sad.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he drowned in Dominican Republic or Costa Rica. Either yesterday or today. Yesterday. He's 54. Like he straightened his life out. It's crazy. He did a post on Instagram like 2 days ago, 2 days before. God. Yeah, and he drowned. I guess he was in the Riptide or something. It's really fucking sad. And then you got to see all the clips of him like on the Today Show being like, I turned my life around. And you're like, motherfucker. But it's sad. It's sad. He's young. Okay. Donato, that's awesome. Okay. The O-Man, Alakunle, taking the 60th. Okay. You got to study everything, but you really got to make sure you got it the ethics and prohibited activities, baby. This test is an ethics test. I swear to God. 100%. So you got to do everything, obviously, but ethics is going to be a big portion, and you'll thank me on Tuesday after you pass on Friday, and then Tuesday you'll come and thank me. Okay. Jack Schema. That is outstanding. I put a lot of new songs in here. Oh, let's see. I put some new ones in here. Will I do that one? Oh, here we go. This is an oldie. Kind of when Van Halen sold out, but that's good. I like their stuff. Okay.
Can I get to one thing here that's kind of interesting?
What,
Donato wrote back.
Which one?
The most recent comment regarding how much he studied before.
Okay, hit it. Okay.
So here,
I'll put it in. I got it in there.
Okay, great. So he crammed like crazy, but it was doing more harm than good. And that's kind of, and like the second part is where I think people should be. I think that what I'm noticing in a trend is that people are wearing themselves out before the exam. They're panicking and studying more and more and more instead of gliding into it. It's you don't want to. This isn't like a final in college. This is something you need to understand and be prepared for different types of scenarios in the questions that they may ask. You know, because when you hit that button, you don't know what question bank you're going to pull. And you need to be calm and prepared. And the cramming a couple days before is not. You're doing yourself a disservice, I believe, with all this time that you put in previously. So just think about that. And a lot of people get worn down and sick because everybody I've been talking to lately that's come close, 70, 69 is your favorite number, except for this exam. They always say, I was a little sick. I was worn out. I had a cold. You don't want to wear yourself out before this exam.
Great. So I'm going to add on to that, not really with anything of value, but I just put out a video this day, how to fail the exam. Yeah. I list off 25 things you can do to make sure you fail. That's one of them. Fucking don't cram. Cramming will kill your ass. You're going to burn out. You got to take a day off.
It'll ruin all the hard work that you've done.
Yeah. You undo it all. Undo it all.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you read Jules? Listen to this. So,
yes,
Jules, kind of unique question, but a gaming streamer and TikTok been quick. So, okay, that's great. Fresh out of college, that's awesome that you figured out a job. Like, it's funny. We make fun of, like, you always think you make fun of TikTok. Like, when I first started going TikTok, my daughter, my wife, and all that, like, don't go on there. It's a joke. Yes, it's a joke, but I make zero money on that. I got like 25,000 subscribers, blah, blah, blah. But I probably not nearly what you do. I make no money at TikTok. And that's awesome that you do. I love that these people have found other ways to make money. Like they're entrepreneur. I mean, whether you like it or not, Jules, you're an entrepreneur. So welcome to capitalism. Okay. So that's awesome. So now here's the thing. Do you have to give up the outside thing? I've had outside business. I mean, if you're at a firm, if you're going to go to an advisor, it sounds like if you're working for an advisor, they may not care because they may. I mean, they full on may. But if you're one, you could do it in turn of monetization, not make money, which sucks. But the two is it's an outside business activity. For the longest time, I think about so when I started working, I always had a second job because I like cash. I was literally making mid six figures, and I was still doing other things. What?
Never enough.
It's never enough. And even though it's like, you're making like 30, 40 grand a month, right? And you're still like, you know what? That $500 I made on a night delivering pizza or whatever made me feel better than the other money because I could see it. I could feel it. And you always aren't multiple. And then what happened is I ref lacrosse. I did that. That wasn't a lot of money, but it was fine. I'd make like 10 grand over like 2 months. Not nothing, but it was fun. And I almost stayed thin. But the other thing is I started teaching. And every single time I talk to a recruiting manager, 100% of the time I talk to a recruiting manager, they go, well, they're going to make you stop doing that. They're going to make you stop teaching on the side. Every single place I've gone to, when I talk to one of the managers, like the hiring people, they go, oh, can you? They were like, oh, even if they made an offer that it wasn't enough or whatever it was, got a job, didn't get a job. Every single one of them goes, oh, my nephew is city. Can you help him out? Blah, blah. None of them gave a shit that I did another job. Now, if I was, working for another broker-dealer, that'd be a problem. And one job I got offered, it was UBS. They wanted me to do the licensing thing. And I understood. They said you'd have to stop teaching. I mean, other people. They said we can't have the licensing director for UBS teaching people Schwab and our competitors, which I get. But for the most part,
A lot of times
so Jules,
it's the company that you work for, depending on if it's a, a huge global bank or if it's a conflict of interest, which just doesn't sound like it would be, but it depends, because, a lot of them are strict with their communications and what you post on social media and things like that.
Right. Yeah, they clean it out. I know somebody had to take their licenses off, which I don't get. But so Jules, maybe you can answer in here. Are you going to be working for your family or maybe a bigger firm? And Jeff will see it when you come in. Is it you're working for your family's group or a bigger firm like an RBC or UBS? And I would say don't automatically assume they're going to say no, because they might. They full on might say no, but don't believe the recruiter. Wait till the compliance people go, when you disclose it, because all you have to do is disclose it. You don't need permission. They can say no. It's a weird thing. You don't have to do. They really can't tell you can't have another job unless it's a conflict. And not that this is testable yet. There are two things which are fucking amazing going through the rules right now. One, and I have to do a video on this. One is they're trying to change the outside business activity rules to make it where you only have to disclose it if it's a conflict of interest or financial related, which is amazing. That means you can do anything you want. You can bartend, you can be a streamer and not have to disclose it. Two, I'm waiting. I'm going to make a video. I'm not going to say this one yet because I think this one is cool. And I'm going to do a video in the next couple of days on this second big rule that's coming through. Okay. And it's massive. Okay. Not as big as T+1, but it's pretty amazing. Now, so Jules, let us know if you're going to be working for your family as an advisor or a big firm.
And can I just grab one question here real quick that Wendy just posted?
Go ahead.
She just said, have I worked with ADD to do a study plan? The answer is yes. And all ADD means to me is you just need to add a little more time.
He talks to me every day. You don't think
I talk to Ken every day. He barely pays attention to anything I say. I have to repeat it 3 or 4 times, but he eventually gets the concept.
I eventually get it. He finally gets it into my head. No, he does it all the time. Look, here's the thing. You know what the one thing everyone says to me when they start to go, I'm a bad test taker. And my joke is, oh, so you're stupid. No, you're not. But what I do is, that was a comedian. He goes, oh, you're just telling me you're stupid. But no, I'm not getting you. Like, you're not on here. Everyone on here is a bad test taker. Every person coming into here, I have 62 people on here between Twitter and all this shit, is probably a bad test taker. No one's a good test taker. I'm a good test taker, but
you're not the norm. I am the exact opposite of you.
Right, exactly. So exactly. So what I'm saying is I'm trying to give you the shit I have, but I know every single person I talk to is not good at taking tests. So think about it. You're not alone, and you're not like, it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother Jeff if you have ADD or whatever it is. Yeah, Tourette's may be a little tough, but I like that shit. If you're going to curse at me, that's awesome. But the point is, I know that's I'm going to get canceled by Jeff. But the point is, everyone's fucking different. And if you're not a good test, if you're a good test taker, you already passed it. You're past. You don't need me. You don't need me. You don't need Jeff. You don't need my other tutors. You don't need the help. Everyone on here, understand, you have 60 people on here at least. Everyone on here thinks they're a bad test taker, or they have ADD or whatever it is. And you may, but we all have problems. Okay. Jules, totally fine with the paragraph. Okay, here we go. So this is a question. So we use my options, Ken's amazing options playlist, which I think is amazing, which will change your life. Okay. Now what he said was he has a problem with doing spreads with the same strike price. I haven't seen a question yet where they make you do the math with the same strike price, because what they will do is show you a horizontal or calendar spread. Now, spread, we always know what spread is. Spread is buy a call, sell a call, or buy put, sell a put. It's the same option, different action, right? I know if a vertical spread means the strikes are different, horizontal means the months are different. Most of the time, they just want you to answer whether it's a debit spread or a credit spread or bullish or bearish, wide or narrow. They usually don't want to do the math because it's harder to do with the same month. You could get it, but I really just blow it off. I don't really care. Now, understand what happens here. So if I always have to look for the dominant option. So in spreads, the dominant option is always the longer month. Always. On this exam, they're not making you do Black-Scholes to figure out whether it's this or that. If you have the same strike price, you have to have different months. So the further month is always a dominant. So right now it's what, July? So if I had a September call and a November call, the November is the dominant. If that's a sell, it's a credit. If that's a buy, it's a debit. So always remember, whatever the dominant is, that drives the thing. Look at that option. If the dominant option is bullish, so is the spread. If the dominant option is bearish, so is the spread. If the dominant option is a buy, then it's a debit. You want it to widen and exercise. If it's a credit, which means it's a sell, so if the dominant option is a sell, it's a credit. You want it to expire and narrow. Now, the way I remember the widen exercise, and I got permission from my wife for this, dead wives can't nag. Debit widen, credit narrow. Dead wives can't nag. That's how you remember whether it's a debit and you want it to widen and stuff like that. So TM, that's most of it. And thank you for joining the options. Also, a couple quick things. I do a membership thing every Friday night. Well, first of all, on every Wednesday night, we do we started an SIE one. It's great. Every Wednesday night at 8, it's like $15 a month. It's cheap as hell. And we meet for an hour every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, because only Eastern matters. Then, after you go that, you graduate to the 7 one. For the 7, we meet at 7 p.m. and then we meet at 8 p.m. And understand the pricing on this. No, it's changing, but not by much. You're paying basically $50 a month for a Series 7 class, an options. I was going to say Series 8, an options class, and my options videos. So if you do the math on that, it's like $9 a class. My wife gets pissed at when she does the math. She goes, "What are you doing?" Don't care. It's all good. Okay. Now, those memberships, you hit the join button, you hit the perk, you hit the options class one, you get all the classes and all that shit. If you don't want to, if you're too cheap to pay for the options or you feel good about them, drop it down one level to the $25 one, and you get the Series 7 class and all the options videos anyway. There you go. But it's a great community. They get together. They start study groups all the time. They know each other. I mean, I got one girl, Erin, who used to be on here all the time. She kills it. She absolutely kills it. She killed it. She nailed the 7, and she's made like 5 friends. She's actually met the couple of them. Okay. Even though they're coming across the country. Okay, let me go. Okay. Alexander. Okay. Alexander, it's hard to do the meaty stuff on here. That's not really what we do. But I mean, if you know the high level stuff, that's most of it. If you know the basics, you're fine. Here's the problem. A lot of the vendors go too deep. And here's the thing, Alexander, since I make people pay for it, I don't give it away for free. I'm a dick that way. So I give the main shit. But if you really want to work on the spreads and straddles, just buy the membership. It's $20. And you get all the straddles and spreads. Here's the thing. Do not focus on the hard part. The straddles are barely on the exam. Long straddles of volatility. There's 2 break evens. Max gain is unlimited. Max loss is premium. Short straddles are neutral. Max gain is premium. Max loss is unlimited. And they also have 2 break evens. It's not too big. I apologize for being a dick about it, but I got to protect my brand, baby. Okay. So now, but again, don't sweat them too much, the spreads and stuff. Okay. Bowden, I am so sorry you missed, but good thing we're 2 weeks away. Advice. I hope you went through the whole program again, like you're brand new. If you don't, try to find time to do it. Okay. Try to find time to get through it again. If you can, go through it again. If you can. But again, your advice is to keep hammering, baby. If you got a 66, you were so close. You're going to be fine. Look at that. It fucking worked. Okay. Now. Okay. Yeah. If you have past perfect stuff. Look, in reality, Bowden, the other thing you could do, I'm not the man, you're the man. Okay. Now, the other thing you could do is go to Kaplan. Now, go to Kaplan and buy their QBank. It's like $40-$50. You'll get like 4,000 questions. You can practice on those. And if you get if you're scoring above 70 on Kaplan and above 75 or 80 on Achievable, you're gonna be rad 8. Okay. Now, on that note, we do tutoring at series7exam.org. First of all, I have tutoring. I do it. I charge $200 an hour. I have 3 tutors under me who teach the SIE and the 7 and the 66. I have a Series 79 tutor. They're all cheaper. They're fabulous. They're all good. They're all busy. That's great stuff. They all know what they're doing. Like, I won't let them teach the next test up until I know they're ready. So you're getting people that know their shit. If you don't like my style and you want somebody more calm and relaxed, go check out Michael Weiss at series7examtutor.com. He's fabulous. He's great. He's about half the cost of me. He charges a little more for the weekends, but he's good at what he does, and he's super duper organized. Okay. Now, stick LP6. No, I know I'm out of order. No. Oh, wait, hold on. Here, stick. No, just remember OAD you create. Yes, you do at the end, but they're going to ask you, do you have to create or not? And it's the OAD. A secondary market discount, you can do either cost or accrete if you want. You don't have to. Okay. Let me get back to where I am. Oh, Santino. Oh, okay. Oh, Santino. He was in my class down in Penny. That's awesome. Santino, you're ready. He's taking the I'm glad you did it because I told you had to do it. Okay. Where are we? Okay. Lucy, oh, that's awesome. So Lucia, I told her she had to watch it and she had to come on here and tell me. So I did Friday night. I told her she wasn't allowed in the group again on Friday. No, she was until she watched the videos. It'll make a big difference. I promise. Okay. Devin. Okay. Bowden, we got you, baby. Okay. Wait, look at this. Look what this says.
Wow.
Look at that. Just by you remember, so you gave her some advice and she popped up. This is awesome. It's amazing.
Keep going. Keep going.
That's right. Okay, hold on. Okay, you're taking it. Okay, relax, Devon. We're good. Everyone feels that way leading it. They feel like they forget shit. Everyone feels like they're forgetting stuff. They really do. They always feel like they're forgetting stuff and all that. Don't worry about it, okay? Just it's not, you're not forgetting everything. But I do say the big, look, you're getting 70 to 85 in STC. You're fine. You're in good shape. You know where you are as long as you're not memorizing. I would make sure that on Friday you don't take any tests and make sure, what do you read? Customer accounts. Read customer accounts the day before or the morning of. I promise you it's easy points. Not like it's a million points, but I promise it'll help you a lot. Okay. Yeah, Ozzy, baby. Crazy train. Okay. Cheeseburger. Love it. Boom, baby. Boom. Use Not Marks. I love Not Marks. They're great people. Where are we? Boom, baby. I love it. Cheeseburger. That's outstanding. Next up, baby. What do you got next for me? Okay. Oh, and you're up next. Santino, I taught you already. I'm so happy that you got it done. You're ready to pass this on Thursday. Now, Catherine, 2 points. Okay. You got to act. So, Catherine, first of all, you have to act like you passed it, missed it by 32 points. That's the goal. You have to act like you missed it by 32 points. That's the goal, okay? Don't act like you missed it by 2 because that's how people fail the second time. Act like you missed by 32 and reread the book. You reframe. Maybe you need a new vendor. If you had Kaplan, get STC. If you had STC, get Kaplan or Notman or Achievable. I love Achievable. Especially as like if you failed coming in, they teach the shit better than anyone else. I have videos. I have links for them. I have links for STC and Achievable and all my videos, I think, other than the lives. Okay. Any other video should have a link for Achievable and or STC. So whatever you're doing, switch it up and spend the first 8 to 10 days rereading the book. I just got off the phone with a woman this morning who failed, and she said, I just got to get past this. So I got off the phone, and her entire job was, and I don't want to meet her until she's done. I said, you have to finish the book. That's literally it. You have to just reread the book. And that you then do that, and then come on next Tuesday, and we'll give you the next steps. Because I don't want to make you, I always remember, think now. Don't think, oh God, 3 weeks or no. Think in the now. Stay in the now. Just think right now. Okay. Again, Santino. By the way, what movie is that name from?
I don't remember. Yeah.
You ever see The Godfather?
Yes.
He said he was named after them. I don't know. I get it. You're in Long Island. You have to.
You can't get over the bridge without doing that.
Yeah. I mean, probably try. Yeah, exactly.
I think go through those tolls where he got killed. They're very modern now. I think they're taking them down, actually.
I know. Yeah, no, because people get killed. No, I know. So it's funny. No more getting people as you're paying because it's all easy.
But actually, I think I went through a couple of years ago. I think you had to pay like $2. It was like but it's so funny because you can't get over any bridge today or toll booth for $2.
Brooklyn Bridge. No, I talk about this in the revenue bonds. So you know how revenue bonds are not technically a tax? So there has to be a way to get into the city from every borough for free. So Bronx is the 3rd Avenue Bridge. I don't know what Brooklyn, obviously Brooklyn is a Brooklyn Bridge. It's free. But the problem is no New Yorker would ever take that because everyone's doing it free. So it's the line is the wait in rush hour is probably like a 3-hour wait.
The 59th Street Bridge.
Is that the other one? That you take that, or is that free or no?
Yeah,
is that like $12?
I actually save up my money to go into the city to not have to take the football.
And what happened to getting rid of the congestion pricing? I thought that was supposed to disappear. I don't know. They're trying to do it in Jersey now. I think they're trying to do it in.
I think you should make it that nobody leaves their house ever. They should make it that nobody leaves their house ever.
I know. No, this is the thing. So you get the two things. Okay, we need you to come to the office, but we're also going to make it 3 times as expensive. Which my big thing is, I think they should have just said only truck deliveries at night. They tried it in Queens, and I think it worked.
I don't understand what the point.
And limit the number of fucking.
It hurts. I think it hurts business more than it helps.
I do. I agree. They said there's
less traffic, and then less people go to the stores and like.
But it's more money for Ramdani. That's it. Okay. So now, Owen, that is outstanding. Awesome. Hope you're still on here. Let's see. Is anybody still on Facebook? Yeah. Oh, no. That's outstanding.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
Oh, look, Sanal, you answered. Sanal asked you, and you delivered, baby. I love it. Okay. Okay. Hillary, thanks. That's awesome. I appreciate it. I do think that'll help. Look, and this is what I tell everyone. I am not the main source. Your main source is either STC or Achievable or Notman or Kaplan or any of those. Past Perfect. Those are your main source. Mine is a supplement. I have 20-minute videos. Most of them are under an hour. And I just try to cover what you need. You read the book, you watch the videos, and then I connect the dots on that shit. Okay. Okay. To 5. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a note taker. Jeff, what do you think? Should he go over his notes? Can you read that?
Yeah. People keep asking me about notes. And to me, the last thing you want to do is like have notes like all over your house that are as many pages as the book that you just read, if you have the physical book. Yeah. If you're a note taker, then do that. But if you're not a note taker, don't start taking notes for the sake of just taking notes. Go with what you're comfortable with. The same way you would do your job. If you're sitting at a desk and you're either dealing with clients or whatever it is you may be doing, do it the same way. Study the way that's most comfortable for you. Don't make up a new study method for yourself that doesn't work.
Right. Don't change this shit up, right?
Yeah, just learn, just go in there.
Unless it's not working. That's why I say people say, should I use flashcards? Have you ever used them before? No, then don't start.
Right, exactly.
You don't know how to use them. Some people love flashcards.
So some people, I'm somebody who just has to read and read and read and reread and take the quizzes and read the answers. Yeah, that's how I get through it.
Right. Good. Okay. So TM. So let me explain. OID is original issue discount. So OID, you must accrete. So if it's an OID, you have to accrete. If it's a secondary market, you can actually do cost if you want. If it's a premium, you accrete. If it's a premium, only the munis have to amortize. Corporates and treasurers kind of don't have to. So remember that OID, you must accrete. The secondary market discount, you can accrete or wait till the end. On the premium side, only the munis have to amortize. Corporates and treasurers get to choose not to. Okay. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Sophie, welcome on, baby. Randy, I'll get to you. I know I'm 15 minutes behind, but I'm trying to catch up. Okay, great question. I say almost every, I mean, other than the 63, every test is 3 to 5 weeks. So you started to 65, go, remember, it's a process. I tell everyone, you're taking the 65, you're taking any exam, you can't put test day pressure on week 2. You can't do it. Everyone does go, I'm not getting it. It's not a fucking straight line. We have a student now we're dealing with, right? And he's a smart guy. This is what I was telling you about, Jeff, a little bit. He's a smart guy, but he wants everything to connect right away, and it doesn't. So, and it's a process. It's ugly. That's the thing. It's like studying it's ugly. It's not a straight line. Oh, I got it. It's a lot of fuck, shit, I don't get it. Punching the screen. Don't do that. But it's a lot of up and down. So don't ever freak out when it's not going well. And yes, it feels like a lot. I know that it feels like too much. Don't sweat this shit. We're going to get you through this. Figure 4 to 5 weeks, and you probably won't start clicking till like the 4th week. Some of it will, but a lot of it will be like all mush, and then it'll start coalescing. Kind of like what's the name of that writer? Never mind. Who's a Jack Ryan book? Do you remember who wrote the Jack Ryan books? But his book would be like, you'd have like 30 different scenarios going, and then it becomes 16, and then at the end it's all one. But you had to keep up with it, but you felt like you were in chaos the whole book, and then it just.
Could you use the word coalesce in a sentence again? I liked how you used that. That was excellent.
My teaching seems chaotic, but when you get to the end, it all coalesces into a magnificent ball of pure aura.
Let's opine.
That'll get you past.
Let's opine.
I have no idea. Opine on this. I have no idea what I just said, but all the words. Okay. Like somebody who's an English major goes, I have no idea. Okay, good. Okay. Now, Randy, that is. I hope you're still on here. I know I'm 15 minutes behind. That is outstanding.
I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Boom, baby. Cotton Eye Joe, baby. Cotton Eye Randy. That's all. Now, everyone who says they passed, if you're still on here, I have one question for you. One, I like his question. What did you do at the end? 2, were there any surprises? I know what's on the exam, okay? I know what's on the exam, pretty much. I want to know, did anything jump out and you go, oh my God, I can't believe that was on there. I've never heard of this. Something that you're like for a while, reverse convertibles freak people out, or a SPAC.
What about what we just had?
What's the other one?
Annuities.
What?
Yeah.
The variable annuities, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
people freak out about
that's feedback from somebody who just took it, who was shocked at the amount.
Right.
Like there were less options and more variable annuities. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? And that's what happens, right? You just don't know. Like I have some people get like 30 option questions.
Yeah.
Some get like 10. It's crazy. Okay. Okay. So Alexander, here, I'm going to say this again. That's awesome. Not awesome that you're struggling with the spreads and straddles, but you're early on. Did she say she's taking it this week? Is she the one? Sorry. It's Alexander, so I got to remember that. I thought he said he was taking it this week. Hold on, where is he? It's Purple A, right? Hold on. Taking it Friday. Okay, the only thing I can tell you right now, I can't do much right now, but I do have a playlist that has some options and straddle stuff. But if you go, again, maybe it's worth the $20. Go on there and just do this. Just watch the straddle and spread. I'll make a deal with you, Alexander. If you go on there and pay the $20, and you watch it and you go, this is a total waste of fucking time. Also, there's a video on there called Options Armageddon, which you basically end up doing spreads for like an hour straight. If you go on there and this is only for Alexander right now. If you go on there and you feel that it didn't help you, I'll give you a fucking $20 back.
Whoa, Ron Popeil.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny. They're like, who is that?
Well, set it and forget it.
The optionator.
Ronco.
Was that Ronco? Is that Ronco and Company? Yeah. I know. God, you guys look up Ron Popeil. He has some great shit. Remember, not that it matters, but remember he had the thing that you could put your jelly jar in it. It would cut it off and make it a glass. Yeah. I don't hear it. You'd put it in there. You know the jelly jars they had, right? You'd put it in there and it would cut around it and smooth it down. And now you have a glass.
Set it and forget it, right?
Oh God, shit. Oh, set and forget. It's fucking crazy. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Okay, Sophie. Okay, here we go. 10 ABC, 6%. 6S means everyone's reading this. They own 10 ABC, 6% or 2045. The benchers have a conversion price of 50 with an anti-dilution provision, which this is obviously a cap on our STC question because very rarely is it on the real exam, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now, if you have 10, you're still going to have 10 bonds, but your conversion price is going to go down. So what we're going to do is, here we go. Take the handy-dandy calculator. And if you want to know the conversion price, since it's a 20% stock dividend, you're going to do what you're going to put 20% and put 1 in front of it. So it's going to now be 1.20. That's your number, 1.20. You're then going to divide the 50 by 1.2. Your new price is 41.66. If they want the ratio, divide 1,000 by that. Okay? So again, if there's a 20% stock dividend, you're going to increase the ratio. You're going to increase the ratio by the amount by 1.2, and you're going to divide the price by 1.2, and that's going to be your new positions. That's all it is. That's the way it goes. The price goes down and the amount goes up. So in reality, if you have a $50, so if you did this, 1,000 divided by 50, my ratio is 20. I'm going to increase that times 1.2 because that's what it is. My new ratio is now 24. So if I convert, I'm going to get 24 shares. And if I want to figure this out, I'm going to do 1,000 divided by 24. There's my 41.66. So if I have a 1.2% stock dividend, 20% stock dividend, I increase it by 1.2. So I'm going to do 20, which how did I get that? 1,000 divided by 50 is my 20 times 1.2. And then I do the price divided by 1.2. I didn't even see your answers, but I got it. Okay, here we go. Okay. Okay, that's fine. So it probably is conservative, but you never know. Jules, I'm with you. You just never know. And that's the thing. If your family's there, whether you like it or not, nepotism is a fucking thing. Okay. There goes. Look at that. That's what she's saying. She used your study plan in a few days from 60s to 68. That's a big jump.
Huge jump.
Go. Yeah. Kyle, thick as a brick, baby. That's what she said. Okay, good stuff. Okay. Now, Martin Rose. Okay. 10 days. I would spend 2 or 3 days rereading stuff. I don't know where you're scoring. If you're in the high 60s, you're in good sleep. I would spend 2 or 3 days reading like investment risks and what the register can and can't do, like the SRO rules, FINRA rules, stuff like that, and then take finals every day. See, what is amazing, you can tell who didn't watch my video in the beginning. Because just so you guys know, and I love you, Martin, my video, the beginning of this video is 5 minutes of me saying what to do if you're taking the test tomorrow, the next day, or the next 10 days. But I'm happy to help you because I'm here to help, right? Okay. So take tests do some chapter quizzes or read for the next couple of days, and then one final a day and review the shit out of it. And then you're going to nail it. Okay. 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 Here we go. Delaney. Hold on. Tell me if this is how you feel.
Into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames went higher, and it burns, burns, burns.
I'm not going to listen to it twice. So it sucks, okay? And you feel like you're going into down, 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 okay? I always have that or achy, breaky heart when people fail. So understand. All you have to do, you know a lot of stuff, but do not fool yourself. Do not act like you missed by 2. Act like you missed by 30. As I told the other person, just read the fucking book again. If you have a tough time reading, go get Speechify. It'll help, okay? Do something or watch the videos. You got to do something to act like you're brand new again. But again, if you have a lot of people after they fail, they have a tough time getting into it. Do small things. Do 20 minutes at a time. Do 20 minutes. Then the next day, you make it to 30, then to 40, then to an hour. All stuff like that. Just start small and let it, and then build up your stamina. That's what she said. Okay. Here we go. Again. Now
you
that's
go.
right. So now look at this one. Sophie, you should reach out. So everyone, if you're not sure, email Jeff. What's your email again, Jeff?
It is right across the bottom.
Put it on the bottom. Email Jeff at Cap Advantage Tutoring, and if he can make time,
I think she booked her though already, so I think we're okay.
Okay, she might have. Okay, that's fine. Okay, here we go. Some hard questions. Here we go. Bullish. Kathy, this is easy. Bullish. Why? Because I'm long stock. I'm not. Would you be bullish Starbucks right now? I don't know.
I don't know about that management team. What do you think?
I know. We'll see. I don't know how but the only good thing is AI can't. Although AI can put those people.
You know what's funny?
Okay,
I was in Starbucks
computer.
the other day getting coffee. Did the order online, and which is it's ridiculously so easy to do it, right? But to me, the whole thought of going to a coffee shop is like, hey, here's my $2 in the old days. And like they say, hello, how can I help you? There's no talking. There's no human interaction. Nope. That's part of the process of getting the coffee.
That's why I like the local bagel shops. I've been in a Starbucks maybe once every 3 years.
I love coffee. I like Starbucks. It's a great experience. But like there's so much missing because everything's so automated. It's crazy.
I know. Right. And Kathy's like, I don't give a shit if you guys like Starbucks. And answer my question. So here we go. So remember something. This is what I tell everyone on this exam. Okay. On this exam, if you're long stock, you are always bullish. Maybe neutral, but you're always bullish. If you're short stock, you're always bearish. So since we bought stock and bought puts, we are bullish. We want it to go up. And our break even in this case is going to be 106. So Kathy, put on the brakes. If you're a long stock, you're bullish. If you're short stock, you're bearish. The only way you wouldn't be bullish, you'd be neutral, is if you bought stock and sold a call at the same price. So if you buy stock at 102 and you sell 110 calls, you're still sort of bullish, but neutral works. But if you buy stock and sell calls at the same price, you're absolutely neutral, but you're never bearish. So if you're long stock, you're never bearish. If you're short stock, you're never bullish. Remember that. That should help you. Just alone on its own. Okay, there's your wheelhouse.
Finally came across your videos. Read the book. Make sure take the. So I guess it's been a 6-month period. Start from the beginning. Just reread the book. Act like you've never seen the material before. It's going to all come back to you very quickly. Make sure you take the practice exams. Read the explanations. Make sure after you take an exam, and I advise taking the exams straight through, turning off the answers, because I think that gives you a false sense of security. Go straight through, and then whether you get it right, wrong, guessed right, guessed wrong, whatever it is, read the explanations. Because if you guess it right, because if you get the question right, you want to make sure that you are in the same thought process as the way that the question was being asked. That is the most important thing. And even if you get the question wrong, don't worry about it. Just make sure you understand why you got it wrong and go from there. But read those explanations.
Yep. 100%.
And watch Ken's videos.
Good. And watch my videos. Okay. Sophia, I answer questions if you ask them. Literally, you ask the questions, I'll answer them. That's the way we go. I go the way we go. So if you have questions, I answer them. If you don't have questions, they don't get answered. I've already done a couple. Now, so that's, guys, remember something. If you ask actual questions, I will answer them other than some option ones. If everyone asks, what do I do when I take the test? We're going to spend all day doing this. That's why I do the fucking video at the beginning. I have a 6-minute video telling you what to do if the test is coming up. Watch that first. It saves you a lot of time. I'm literally going to say the same thing to you every time. Okay. If you failed and need help, that's different because I don't do a video on that. But this is like if you're taking this test tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, it's the same fucking shit every time. Now, do I think are they similar? I think they're similar, but I think they're actually more complex. I think not all of them. Some are easier, but again, I always joke that the 7 is easy. It's not easy, but it's straightforward. Okay, it's just straightforward. Okay, and you know what you know what they're asking you. That's all it is. You absolutely know what they're asking you. Got to go from there. That's all it is. You know what they're asking. It's hard, but STC, Kaplan, Notman, Achievable. Sometimes their questions are so convoluted that you don't get it wrong because you didn't know the stuff. You get it wrong because you couldn't follow.
I'll put it this way.
You couldn't follow the
I
question.
think that there's you and I have probably taken enough exams in life, even outside of this, where no matter how much we study, we're not going to be able to pass it. This exam is meant to be passed with the proper studying.
Yep.
That's all it is. It's just a matter of having a disciplined study approach. And I'm not saying that because we're talking about the custom study plan. I'm just saying in general, the exam is very passable. You just have to put the time and have a constructive kind of plan for the 4 to 6 weeks of studying. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 100%. Okay, let me scroll. Javi, let's go, baby. There you go. Brian, revenue, baby. Brian Cassidy, revenue bonds, baby. So that'd be a great question. Santino was killed at a toll booth. That's an example of a revenue bond going bad. Look at that. Jeff answered it. That's an example of a revenue bond going bad. Okay. Yep. Don't overthink it. Listen, I do this. I have a video where I cover this is the one thing I will never answer. It's the sell stop, buy stop because I've done so many times. Just remember, if you're short stock, you do a buy limit to get a profit or a buy stop to protect. So if you're long stock, you do remember stops protect, limits don't. So if you're long, you do selling things, sell limit, sell stop, buy a put because that's the right to sell. If you're short stock, you do a buy limit to grab income, a buy stop to protect, or a buy call to protect. That's what you need to know, especially for the SIE. Don't worry about that too much. I have a video on it. I seriously wouldn't stress about it. Again, the vendors do that buy, sell, stop. Fucking nuts. They go crazy on that. Okay. There you go. Sophia, you understand that I have to get to you first, right? I'm not ignoring you. I have to do everything in order. Okay. And it looks like I answered this question, right? I answered this. So you're going to do 1.2. I did already, so do it again. Since it's a 20% dividend, you're going to do 1.2. You're going to multiply times the ratio and divide the price. So you're going to do 50 divided by 1.2, and then you're going to do 20. How did Ken get 20? Because you always do par divided by the convertible price. 1,000 divided by 50 is 20. There we go. Okay. And I would never ignore you, Sophie. But patience is virtue, baby. Okay. You got it. Kyle nailed it. Tom Clancy. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All his books are like out here. They coalesce at the end. Okay. Now. Okay. Yeah. Didn't we go through this already? The virtual engagement thing. We always looked it up. I think it's great. The pay is good, and it gets you started, baby. It's a good starting step. Okay. Yeah, it's much easier to get a job when you have one and just get your foot in the door. Then you can do the rest. Biggest component of the SIE, people forget about the risks and people forget about the FINRA rules, what the register up can and cannot do. Do not focus on math. You will get a couple math questions, maybe 3 or 4, mostly stock splits and current yield and stock dividends. That's about it. Okay. 3, that's interesting. So everyone blows off the regs, but the regs are the easiest part. There's a problem with the 3. It's 2 different tests. So I don't know if you know this, Jeff. The 3 is actually 2 tests in one. Did you know that? So it's a reg section and a regular section, and you need to pass both separately as one test to pass. So it's like 140 questions. I don't know the numbers exactly, so I'm butchering it, but it's like 30 on regs, 110 on like calculations, and you got to pass, but you got to get over a 70 on both. You can get a 99 on the regs and a 69 on the math, and you fail. I don't know why they don't do it as 2, but it is what it is. It's the NFA is just weird shit. The biggest piece of advice is get that formula down. I use if you're taking it, I use SDC. If you're using Kaplan or Notman, they're fine. But I think SDC does a better job with the setup for the math. I have some videos that show you how to do the hedging and stuff, but you got to know the regs, which is not hard. You just got to do it. And the hedging. You got to understand that math, and you got to get on there. Okay. Yeah, not two in a row, 1 a day. Igor, 1 a day.
Because what do you do after you take an exam?
Okay.
Yes.
You review the fuck out of it. Okay. No, yeah. So for the 66, even though this is FINRA night, for the 66, the last day, you got to make sure you do trusts, estates, and joint accounts. You got to make sure you got and customer accounts pretty much. But I think they call investment advisory clients trusts, estates, and joint accounts. You got to know that shit cold. I think it's fine. I think it's a job, man. It's a job. Okay. There it is. There's a variable annuity thing you said. Okay, Hillary. Hold on. What happened? Did you put a post in? Hold on. Here we go. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm catching up. Okay. You know what happened? When I get behind, people stop asking questions. Okay, hold on. Oh, she's fine. Thank you. No, I'm kidding. So now, I think as a supplement, they're great. And by the way, guys, I was a technical editor for Series 7 for Dummies. That was good stuff I did it this spring. Yay. Snaps for me and Jeff. Okay, so now, yes, I think they're a reliable source as a secondary source. If you don't have another one, go get the Achievable. You'll fucking love it. I swear to God, Achievable, no one teaches, on any of these exams, no one teaches this stuff better. No one does. It's the best by far. So, but the questions are good. But if you have Kaplan and you're like, oh, I can't read it, go get the Achievable. It'll help. If you just have SIE for Dummies, go get the Achievable, especially for the SIE. It'll put you over the top, I promise. Okay. Yeah, cost basis is always a big one, right? So cost basis is always what it costs you to buy something, okay? Cost basis is what you paid. So if you buy stock at 50 and you sell it at, this gets everyone. If you buy stock at 50 and sell it at 60, your cost basis is 50. Your proceeds is 60, not 10. Your capital gain is 10. Cost basis is what you pay. Proceeds is what you sell it for. The difference is your gain or loss. But everyone thinks that 10 is a proceeds. So again, cost basis is what you pay. Proceeds is what you sell it for. The difference is your gain or loss. Now, moving on. When you have options, if you buy a call or sell a put, what do they both have in common? They're both bullish and they both have you buy stock. Your break even is cost basis. I'll say that again. If you buy a call or sell a put, your break even is cost basis. I have videos on this. If you buy a put or sell a call, what do they have in common? They're both bearish and they're both options where you sell stock. Your break even is proceeds. I promise you that'll give you points. Now, the other thing on this exam, when you take the 7 or even the SIE, if I buy a 50 call at 3 and the stock goes to 60 and I exercise, I'll say that again. I buy a 50 call at 3, stock goes to 60 and I exercise. If they say, what's your capital gain? It's 0 because I never sold the stock. You have to have a buy and a sell to have a taxable thing. All you did was create a cost basis of 53. So remember that. They're going to do that on the test. You buy stock, or you buy an option, you exercise it. The exercise of a single option is not taxable. So you have to have a buy and a sell. So if I buy a 50 call at 3 and the stock goes to 60 and I exercise, all I did was buy the stock at 50 plus 3, 53. I did not sell it. If you don't see the word sell, you don't have a taxable gain. Good. Okay. Let's go, Jules. Just give it a shot. Okay. Okay, Nick, I hope you heard everything I did. Okay. Hope you ever said it. Don't just, yes, fine. Go for the options. I'm okay. Get it out of the way. Get it off your watch. Join the membership. Do it on your own. I don't give a shit. Get it off your plate. Then study everything. If you want to spend the first 2 days just getting options off your plate and not worrying about it, then go back and act like you're brand new. You cannot act like you just need to make up a point, or you will be on here again going, I can't believe I got a 71 again. It happens so much. It fucking disgusts me. And I feel bad because they think they get advice. Oh, just pick up the points. Because your manager doesn't know fucking shit. Your manager might be my age and took the test in the 80s and 90s when all you had to do is memorize the SDC questions and you passed. It's a different world. There's not your daddy's Series 7. Okay. Okay. Brandon, hope you're still on here. No. Just so don't worry about it. If you can do the basics, you're fine. If not basics, if you can find out profit loss, hedging and straddles and spreads and stuff like that, nothing crazy. The problem with some of the vendors is, especially Pest Perfect and Kaplan and Notman, sometimes their option questions are so fucking hard. It's unbelievable. Like, and then you take the test and you're like, what the hell? Why do they have to make it so hard? It's not only, remember, half the options questions will be theory. Like, is this spread bullish or bearish? Is it wide or narrow? If I'm long stock and long a put, like what Kathy sent in, am I bullish or bearish? What's your break even? Stuff like that. Again, they might say, oh, you bought 100 shares at 40. You bought a 40 put at 3. It went to 80, exercised and sold. What's your gain? They do stuff like that. They're not going to make you walk halfway around the park to get there. Okay. Who has the best questions for SIE? I like STC the best, but Kaplan has a lot. That's the thing. STC is the closest. So let me go through it. Achievable teaches it the best. STC has the best questions, but it's still not that close. Kaplan has the most questions, and Notman has good videos. Not as good as mine, but they have good videos. So if you have the ultimate cash, buy them all. Achievable teaches it the best. STC has the closest questions, but again, not close. Kaplan has the most questions, and they have a great performance tracker. And Notman does the whole package. You can't buy little pieces of it. They do a good job, and their videos are pretty solid. Okay. Brandon, I only love you because you did play for the Jets for a little bit, even though you were a Giant and a Bills at some. Literally the two teams that I hate the Patriots more than the Giants, but congrats, my man. That is outstanding. And I told you, this is a guy who's on LinkedIn. I think he has TikTok too. I forgot. If you want to put your link in here, put it in here, okay? Because he does videos where he reads books for kids. It's pretty cool. Like, he gives back a lot. A lot of people do this shit. Like, I don't give any of that shit back. But let me get
One of these days, these boots are.
I need it better.
We started dancing and love put us into a groove.
That's a good one.
Sucks that
I like that one.
I know. Did you hear the whole thing or no?
I like the old school songs from like the 80s, you know,
I know.
the techno.
Brandon, Brandon gets it again, even because it broke up and I lost connection. Sorry, Brandon, but you earned this.
We started dancing and love put us into a groove.
I like that shit. I love transition stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So Kathy, I know we answered your question before. Buying a put is bearish, but owning the stock is bullish. So if you're a long stock and you buy a put, it's based on the stock. So I always say this one: stock is king, stock is everything. Remember, stock is king, stock is everything. That means that if you're long stock, you're always fucking bullish. And the break even is based on the stock and the premium. If you're short stock, you're always fucking bearish. And it's always based on the stock plus or minus the premium. So it's always stock plus or minus premium. And if you're long stock and you buy a put or sell a call, you're still bullish. If you're short stock and you buy a call or sell a put, you're still bearish every damn time. Okay. Makia. Okay. Maddie gives me the math questions. I'm going to have to kick your ass. Okay. Boom. Okay. Just keep doing the questions, baby. Makia, just keep doing the questions. Don't keep doing the practice one on the FINRA website because it's the same stuff. STC is solid. Dude, they have great questions. They really do. So stick with those. Go through the stuff, and I'm seeing you Thursday. We'll go from there. Okay. Oh, this is a good question. Oh, you answered already. Okay. Buys a 5% muni bond at 102.5. The bond is yield to maturity 4.5. Okay. Well, you're gonna have to so here's the thing. How many years to maturity? There's some things missing, Maddie. So the yield to maturity, I don't give a shit about. If you hold it to maturity, you have no capital gain or loss. Remember that. That's a trick question. So if you hold the bond to maturity, I had to catch up on that a second. If you hold the bond to maturity, there's no capital gain or loss because you've amortized it down to zero. Yes, you might have a loss somewhere, but you have no capital gain or loss because you held it to maturity. So any bond you hold to maturity, you have no capital gain or loss. You may pay taxes along the road. You may have losses along the way, but you got nothing, baby. Okay.
Do you know how many people try to write off that as a loss?
I know. They do all the time, right?
I thought when I was a muni bond broker,
Yep.
do it all the time. But the truth is,
It should be.
What's that?
It should be a fucking loss.
No.
No, it's not.
But I don't think it should be.
What?
I don't think it should be.
Why?
Because you're getting it in the form of current income. You're paying a premium for a higher coupon in a market that's only 4.5%.
I get it, but okay, I'm with you on that. But what if I buy a discount? I pay taxes on the income and the fucking growth. I double tax.
But
I'm losing money too, right? So
I understand it from what you're saying with the discounted bond. That I agree. Even though it's from the OID point, and then that's tax free. But yeah, if you're buying it at a discount of 90, the OID's at 98,
right?
And because the market's got higher interest rates, I agree with you there.
But think of it. So if I pay 105 for a bond, pay 1,050, then because you're saying the amount of money, the $50 that I lose is offset by the higher premium.
Yes.
Way to lick the billionaire boot, Jeff. I like that. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but the thing is, you make but then on the other side, at the discount, it should be the same way.
But let's see. So if I buy a bond for 1,050 and then 3 years later sell for 1,040, I might have to pay taxes on that difference, on the difference in the amortized amount and the accrete and what I sell it. Right. Yeah. So if I buy 1,050 bond, 10 years from maturity, I have to take $50, amortize it down, 2.5 points every year, right? Whatever, right. 2.5, whatever the fuck it is, every year, but half, yeah, 2.5. And then after, say, 2 years, I sell it for more than my amortized amount. I got to pay taxes on that shit.
The chances are that rates have gone down, even though your bond has gotten shorter. So it's that much valuable. But yeah, but then to your
point. You work for the IRS, Jeff?
What?
You work for the IRS?
Well, somebody just asked me if I'm in the witness protection program. Did you see that comment?
Not yet. I'm going to get to it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me roll down.
Nobody really knows where I am.
That's oh yeah. Oh, that's right. Everyone thinks that that's true, right? So I'm going to say one thing real quick. And hold on, Brianna, I'll help you. I know. And then Parker, don't fucking go. Best way to prepare for the 7, read the book first. Hopefully you're starting. Read the book cover to cover. Then don't take notes. Just get through it. Watch my videos because I have the best videos. Second, go start doing chapter quizzes. And anything you score under 70 on, reread the chapter. Then once you're passing them, start on the finals. Okay, so you know that I'm lean right. That's what she said in the political sphere. I listened to Megyn Kelly. You know who Rahm Emanuel is?
Who is it?
Rahm Emanuel.
No.
So he helped Clinton get elected and all this shit, right? And I promise this is a surprise. I'm as surprised about what I'm saying as you would be. She was on Megyn Kelly. So the interview was yesterday.
No.
I don't fucking hate. I mean, he was a mayor of Chicago. So he's obviously on the wrong fucking side of the aisle for me. I don't fucking hate him. What the fuck's going on with me? I don't get it. Okay. But anyway, I listened to him. I'm like, I mean, some of the stuff I disagree with on, but I go, and even Megyn Kelly, who's far right. I mean, she says she's new, but she is. She's like, I did not hate listening to him. Like a lot of the stuff. And he was honest. He fucking answered questions. I'm not going to say what he said, but he said, can a boy be a girl? Should they be? He answered he didn't hem and haw. He answered the fucking questions. And I was like, that's fucking ballsy. And he goes, but no, the reason I thought of it is because she goes, you know what you just did? He goes, yeah, I have to go into witness protection after this. Yeah. That's what I thought about. So Brianna, just read the book. Parker, baby. That is outstanding.
I've been forgotten, Joe. I've been married long did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
Boom, baby. Parker, that's outstanding. Do I like? Was my opinion on past perfect? I think if Michael, if you're passing past perfect, you're in good shape. If you're, I don't love that. Look, let me put it this way. I think they're too hard, and I think they work. My problem is a lot of the places that use past perfect, they have some stupid rule that they say you can't use outside sources, that you can't use YouTube, which pisses me off. You can, I know they think that way. You can't use another vendor, and I'm like, that's fucking arrogant as hell, and that strikes me as fear. That sounds to me like it's fear. That's all it is. So I like them. I think they're too hard. But the guy, John, who runs it, who's trying to fix it, he's trying to make it less ridiculous. Because Ed Floor, who's a smart guy who ran the program before it got taken over by Serify, I think it was Serify, all these firms are getting taken over by PE firms. STC is run by a PE firm. Training Consultants is, and Past Perfect is. Kappa, no, and then Notman yet, but who knows? Now, but he's trying to clean it up and make it less convoluted. So I like them, and I think they're getting better at it. But I take anything to do with math, I take with a grain of salt. I do. Okay. Oh, Tommy, I'll get you. Good question. Who's not a person? I agree. It does look like he's in Club Fed. I'm waiting to see some girl in a bikini jump in that pool, but whatever. Okay, now. Okay. Oh, while I'm talking about this one, Jeff, you read 6 Point Studios. Okay. Who is not a person? Okay. So this is a NASA question, but I'm going to do it now because it's interesting. So anything that can sign a contract is a person, a corporation, unincorporated, a partnership, a city, a town, a human being over 18. So anything that can sign a contract is. So the way I remember it is I go dead, dumb, don't touch. Anything that's dead, dumb, or don't touch you is not a person. Again, who knows? I'll get in trouble for this. Now, dead obviously is not a person. They can't sign a contract. Dumb means mentally incapacitated. They can't sign a contract. They have a guardianship. And don't touch means under 18. So dead, dumb, don't touch. If they're dead, if they're mentally incapacitated or under 18, they're not a person. So they can't sign contracts. So again, who is not a person? Those three things. Anything else, an unincorporated subdivision, anything that can sign a contract is a church, a government, a partnership, an LLC, an S corp, all considered persons. I hope that helps. And a natural person is like you or me. Although some people they think I'm AI. Okay.
So I imagine this person is out of the country.
No. I think he means like country, like straw in the mouth, overalls.
Okay.
I don't know. 6 Point. I assume you're in the US, but you're like in the country, small town. Okay. Here's the thing on this. I remember a long time ago. When I was leaving the exchange before I think I was. Oh, it was when I was at my other firm with you. So I was interviewing for a job at Bezea Brown Bavaria, I think it was BBVA, right? And they had a job, and I was talking about being a branch manager. God, that would have been crazy for in Alabama, and the pay wasn't great. But I said, you have two that are an hour and a half apart. I'll run both. I'll go back and forth so I can get more money. And we were negotiating back and forth. But I didn't take the job because here's the thing: if you start in New York, you can go anywhere, right? But if you start out of New York, it's very hard to get into the city. So if you can get into the city, into New York City or LA or Miami, Boston, maybe Philly, more New York than anything else. If you can get a job that'll pay enough to pay the stupid fucking rent you have, live in Jersey City, it's worth getting. But it's very hard to get a job. You'd have to get a job here first. But the problem is you're offering not a lot of value other than, Hicksville. So if you're in New York, people from outside the city will hire you because you're a New Yorker. But if you're out of New York, it's harder to get in. So 6 Point, it's doable. But since you're young, since you're starting off, so here's the thing. It depends. Now, here's where I say I think the city's better if you can get a job that pays a salary. I think if you're commission only, do not move into the fucking city. Because everyone's sophisticated. And when you make a phone call to someone, you might be their 10th phone call that week.
That week or that day?
That day. Well, I'm thinking hedge funds that day, but if it's a rich person, might be that day. So you're not going to, if you come in with clients, yeah, sure, do it. Or if you're going to give them a salary and they don't have a quota, and that's fine. But if you're on your own, you might be better off staying out where you are. But it also depends. Okay, the next part of it also depends what kind of program you have. If you're with a person that has a book of business and they're like 65 years old and their kids are in their 30s, he or she wants to pass it on to someone. That could be you. Okay? But here's my thing to everyone. If you're starting to work for an IA and they keep talking about how they're going to give it to you, check how old their kids are. If they have teenagers, you're probably not getting the business. If they're 30 years old and they have real jobs, you have a chance to get. I've seen it so many times where I've seen a guy, he had a billion, $5 million a year commission business or advisory business, right? And he goes, oh, he was training the guy for 5 or 6 years. And then I'm going to give it to you. He didn't put it in writing. That's where the problem was. And when he went to get it, he goes, well, my son needs a job, so I'm going to give him half and you half. I'm going to give him the bigger clients and you the bottom half. And what can he do? It's not his fucking clients, right? So you get it. Even if in writing, they try to screw you over. So you got to make sure, one, you get it in writing. And two, check out their family. If they have kids that are like in Ivy League schools and look like they're going to go great, fine. But if you think they're going to be, they might not have a job, dad's going to give them a job. Or mom's going to give them a job. So keep that in mind.
Hopefully the kids are in med school and law school.
Yeah, exactly. If they're in med school or law school, then you're probably safe. Well, you're still not fully safe, but you're safer. Right. But if they're an engineer, look, if they're taking art history, you're fucked. Okay? If they're taking any kind of literature, history, language, unless they want to be a teacher. But if any kind of literally, like my daughter is an art history major. I said, you're taking a major of a rich person, and I'm not a rich person. But look, she worked out. She ended up going to hedge. She worked at JP Morgan, and she was a hedge fund, all that stuff. So again, that's the thing. So that's my whole thing about the student loans. If you want to give student loans for STEM, fine. But you want to give it for basket weaving or like nothing wrong with gender studies, but you shouldn't take out $300,000 in loans for gender studies. You will never fucking pay that back. And here's the thing. I think you knew that when you signed up for it. Okay, back to this. Okay. So 6 point, I kind of went on a tangent a little bit, but that's kind of where we are. Okay. Yeah. Isabella, thanks for joining the options videos. Okay. Love a tea, baby. I can do this. That's a long haul, but I got videos to cover. But look, there are 3 types of bonds, really. There's 3 issuers of bonds. And then there's 2 types. So in the corporate world, those are corporate bonds issued by IBM, GE, whatever it is. They're fully taxable. It's when a company wants to borrow money. They're usually a term bond. You lend them $1,000. They're going to pay you 5% a year, which is $50 a year for 30 years, and then pay you back. That's a term bond. That's a coupon paying bond. Now, they could also do a 0 coupon. Corporations don't do a lot of these, but they could, where they buy it from you. Buy it for like $700, and in 10 years, they give you back $1,000. That's a 0 coupon. You're not getting anything. But again, the big thing about corporate bonds is that they're fully taxable. They're issued by corporations. They're fully taxable. Now, what if and you pay taxes? Now, what are rich people most afraid of other than Marxism? Jeff?
Taxes. Yes.
So rich people buy munis. Poor people buy corporates. Rich people buy munis. Because remember, 42% of the households pay 0 federal tax. So if they buy corporate bonds, they're not paying taxes on this shit. It doesn't matter. But if you're rich, you're worried about taxes. So you buy munis. Why? Because munis are tax-free on the federal level. Also, while I do this, remember, I have a great Facebook group that we run called FINRA and NASA Exam Test Prep Network. You got to answer some questions to get in, but it's to keep the spammers out. But it's a group of almost 8,000 people. It's crazy. Okay, now back to this. So munis, you like that little segue into my plug. Now, it's free. It doesn't cost you. You get nothing out of it. What?
Very subtle.
Super subtle. Now, muni bonds are issued by municipalities. There's 2 types. There's GO bonds, that's what we talked about before. That's for stuff that's free to use. High schools, libraries, community centers, pools, not pools, but like parks, local roads, since they don't generate revenue, right? Pools cost money, right? So So all of those things are free to use. So they use the taxes to pay the interest on the bonds. That's called ad valorem taxes, property taxes. Now, a revenue bond is like for tolls, like we talked about the bridges, tolls, fees, rent, airports, hospitals, pools, colleges, if anything. They issue a revenue bond, and the revenue from the project pays the interest. So again, on the GO bond, the taxes of the local people pay the interest on the bonds because you buy the bond, you want to get paid. If it's a revenue bond, it's paid for with the tolls, fees, rents, charges, user fees of the project. That's a revenue bond. They're not supposed to be riskier, but they're a little riskier than GOs. Now, the third type is a treasury bond issued by the federal government. Now, these are issued by the federal government. So the one thing they don't have is a default risk, because as I say, if your treasury bond defaults, that's the least of your worries. You got to worry about other shit, okay? So there's 5 different types. Bills, I'm not going to go deep into them because I have videos on this. Bills, notes, bonds, tips, and strips. Let's say it together. Bills, notes, bonds, tips, and strips. That's short to long. Bills, those are short-term, under a year. There are 0 coupons. They pay interest at the end. T-notes are 2 to 10 years. They pay a coupon every 6 months. T-bonds, they're up to 30 years. They pay a coupon every 6 months. Tips, just a tip, baby. Tips are inflation protected. That means you buy into it and they adjust the par value for inflation. So they're still bonds, but they protect against inflation. Then the last one is strips. I'm kidding. So strips, those are long-term 0 coupons. That means that you're great for college savings. You give the government $200 now, and they pay you back $1,000 in 20 years. That difference is your interest. Those are the main types of bonds. Find my videos, okay? Love T. Find my videos. I have 2 or 3 videos on bonds. They will help out a ton. Now, remember, if you have a 0 coupon, you pay lower than par, and you get par at the end. And now, as far as volatility goes, I'm going to end on this one. Volatility, that means interest rate risk. When interest rates go up, bonds go down. When interest rates go down, bonds go up. Long and low, baby, long and low. Long-term bonds move more than short-term bonds, and low coupon bonds move more than high coupon bonds. Hope that helps a little, Love T. Let's get into it. Watch my videos, and we're going to talk from there. I think that's it, right? Oh, I thought it was. Chicago mayor. I'm not even close to being done. I thought it was done. Dual city. Oh, okay. You don't need, trust me, you don't need good credit. It helps, but you don't need like fucking 800. I think they do a background check. They do a background check for you because they're checking to see if you're going to be at risk of. So if you're in the 600s, you're probably fine. If you're 500s, you got to sweat it a little bit, but you're probably fine. As long as you don't have any like really, really bad, like fucking shit going on. Okay. Tommy, that's awesome. We got you past everything, baby. Okay. If you're taking practice exams, don't be afraid to look up the answer. Okay. Right. Okay. See, Parker, I agree. But here's my thing. When you do the practice and like the smaller exams, I'm agree. But the first couple, there's a couple that you can do the first couple with the answers on. But once you start getting into the finals, I prefer you do them with the answer.
Ken is
Right,
frozen.
folks. We review the.
You just froze, by the way.
Am I back?
Yeah. You're back
Am I
now.
still frozen or no?
No, you're good.
I'm back, baby. Okay.
But
So I'm
you
just
did that
saying,
whole
I know I lost it for a second. I heard you say I'm frozen. That's as far as
Yeah.
I got. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. I would say once you get through the first 2 of the answers on, get them off and just start practicing that because your scores will go up. But again, review all the right and wrong answers. Ricky, baby, take that brutal exam. Okay. Let's go. And then tell me Thursday night how it goes. Ricky, I'm busy too, baby. I'm doing this shit. No, I'm kidding. Okay. What a great. Okay. Oh, look what Kyle said. I love it. Have you ever seen that one thing from NYU? And Ash, I'll get to you in a second. Have you ever seen that NYU thing where there's one school, one of the schools in NYU, they can create their own majors?
Oh, is that right?
And there's a video of them going, "What's your major?" And it's like blah 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 blah. It's like fucking like 3 sentences long.
Yeah.
And everyone goes, "Oh, a future." It's like they're all basically they're majoring in Starbucks. Okay. So this is a great question, Ash. Does an NDA go beyond death? I have to think it does. Don't you think?
I was wondering that myself.
1 second.
An NDA for a client.
Death. It depends. Death doesn't automatically void a contract unless it's for personal service. Only the deceased can. Oh, that's funny. So an NDA, death doesn't automatically void a contract unless it's for personal services. What does that mean? That only deceased can perform. So if you have an NDA with a prostitute, then if she dies, the NDA ends.
What? Is that a question on the exam?
Could be.
That would be like a Kaplan-Cuban question, wouldn't it?
That could be. And here's the thing. Everyone says it depends. Here's the thing. So if that's a vendor question, that's a crap question because the 3 places I hit were law firms, and they go, it depends on the wording. It depends what they do. Like an NDA about, like if it's not about services, but something else, then that if it's bigger, then no. It depends what the contract says. That's a great question, and I'm sorry there. Okay. That I don't have a better answer.
I think it's kind of like a trust.
Yeah, I guess.
Kind of like,
Oh, RBC. I know. I love the new mic too myself. Okay. Oh, it's a real life question. Okay. That's great. So here's my question. Ask a fucking lawyer. No, I'm kidding. So
I think it is a
depends.
legal question. Yeah.
What?
I think it is a legal question.
Yeah. I think it depends on the contract.
On the NDA.
Right. So if it's something only you have to read the contract again, but according to this, if it's something only that one person who's now dead can do, I think it ends. But if it's like, yeah, I've read from 3 different law firms, 3 different places. And like law, the one is UK, so I don't give a shit. But if it's too broad, I think the thing is usually here's the other thing. NDAs are not usually lifetime, are they? Usually they're 5 or 6 years, right? That's interesting.
I'm used to seeing like NDAs and like corporate situations.
So if this is what they're saying, if it's by an employee, it usually ends when the employee dies, which doesn't help you because you're still alive, Ash. I think it depends. It sucks that I can't give you a great question because I'm not a lawyer. But when I get on the phone with my lawyer cousin, I will ask. And I'll charge you the $8. Since he's $600 an hour, I will charge you $18.17 if he gives me.
You have an expensive curiosity.
Oh, I know. Do you remember when we were at the other firm, the guys would try to get off the phone as quick as possible?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because I remember that our lawyers charge in 15-minute increments, I think.
Yeah.
I think some lawyers charge in 8-minute increments.
Oh, do they go that low?
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Sheila. That's a great question. So let's see how to move fast. Okay. If you're not first, you're last, baby. So I would say don't waste time. I know that sounds so stupid, but maybe you got to start reading the answers before you read the questions. You don't have to read it twice. So try that. I don't want to change anything up tomorrow, but sometimes, and the STC, the 63 is absolutely a time crunch exam. It really is. And what'd you get on the one before? Oh, you didn't say what you got, but it's definitely a fear. I know that. I'm not helping you at all, but I would sit there and what I would do is I would try to, in the first 10 seconds, decide if you can answer it or not. And if you can, answer it. If you're not sure, it looks fuzzy, put in the mark for review, but get through the whole exam, right? So get the ones you can get. Here's the biggest problem. If you don't know something and it looks foreign, don't waste fucking 3 minutes figuring it out. You got to learn to fucking triage, baby. You'll know into kind of like You know, they say a girl knows in 20 seconds whether she's going to sleep with you or not. That's why I never had more than a 10-second conversation with anyone. But you can know in 20 seconds whether you can answer the question. You know within 20 seconds whether you can answer it. And if you can't, let that shit go.
Yeah.
Let it go. Pick C and move the fuck on. That's going to save you. Every time, now I'm not saying to pick 20 questions like that, but every question that you can't answer. Oh, Sheila, you ran out of time and you missed it by 3 fucking questions. That sucks. I would make sure that the ones you can't answer, move the fuck on.
Yeah.
And if you had to have an internal timer that if you're coming up on a minute, you got to pick something. You got to have like in your head, like, okay, I'm at a minute. It's bad. I got to move on. You got to pick something. Because if you start taking a minute and a half per question, the same thing's going to happen. Because here's the problem with the 63. Most people who don't get through it quickly finish with like 10 minutes left, which is a lot. On the 63, since it's you get 75 minutes, 10-minute cushion is actually pretty good. But that scares the shit out of people. So I don't think it helped you a lot. But I would say, you got to learn to be a savage, right? If you don't know an answer, pick it and move on. Pick C and move on. So I'm telling you, pick C. Not because there's anything. It's just you don't have to think about it. So, well, should I did B the last time? Don't. Just pick fucking C and move on. Take that thought process out of your thing. And then anything that you're 50-50 on, within 30 seconds, you'll know if you're 50-50. If you're 50-50, move in the review. Get it done. Stick and move. Don't rush, but get through the questions. If you can get through the whole test and have like 30 minutes left, get through the whole test and have 20 minutes left, and then you have a bunch of questions in the review, you can just slowly go through them. Because then at least they're all answered and you won't run out of time. Okay. Yeah, Kyle, go watch the most. Baseball, you can miss the first 7 innings and you're going to get the thing anyway. It doesn't fucking matter. Okay. So, Sheila, I hope that helped a little bit. But let's get this done. Boom, baby. Okay, Braden, you're good. I love it. Keep going, baby. You have 10 days. Keep hammering. Make sure you're taking the SIE. Make sure that you have investment risks and what the register can and cannot do down pat. Okay. I love it. Okay. I think we're good to go. I think we hit the end. We have a banger of an episode. Okay. Hold on. Oh, it's not over here. Did I have it? So where is it? Oh, it's up here. Okay. I think we're going to head out and let's go, baby. I'll see you all later.
I always wanted to go there.
Come on.